I'm sorry to ask, but can you not come to the wedding tomorrow? I didn't understand what was being said, so I immediately asked for clarification. What do you mean? Exactly what I said. I think Marty would also prefer if his low-level sister, who works at a supermarket, didn't come. I finally got a taste of what it felt like to be looked down upon. It's for Marty's sake. When they said it was for my brother, I couldn't say anything anymore. My name is Joanna. When I was in 9th grade, my parents passed away in a car accident, leaving my brother Marty and me alone. At first, I couldn't comprehend what had happened. We didn't have any reliable relatives, so our teachers took care of the funeral arrangements and other necessities. I could only watch, holding Marty's hand tightly. Only after the funeral, when it was just Marty and me in the house, did I finally understand. I cried my eyes out. I cried until I fell asleep from exhaustion. When I woke up, I felt considerably calmer, as if I had used up a lifetime's worth of tears. With a clear mind, I thought about how to go on living. Protecting Marty, that's what matters most. I decided not to go to college and to start working instead. I was worried about finding work without a high school diploma, but a classmate's parent who ran a supermarket offered me a job. Would you like to work here? The pay isn't great, but everyone is really nice. Everyone else was enjoying high school life in their new uniforms. Honestly, I was envious. But to make ends meet, I had to work. Thankfully, Marty understood the situation. When he came home from school, he would help with dinner and cleaning. Being the sweet guy that Marty is, I wanted him to at least continue doing what he loved, playing soccer. Marty wanted to quit because of the travel costs for matches, but the coach and I convinced him to stay. Maybe it's just my perception, but I believe Marty has a real talent for soccer. On the days when there were soccer games, I'd take the day off work or get a break just to cheer for Marty. At first, other parents were surprised to see a sister, not a parent, showing up for Marty. But as Marty excelled in soccer and my cheers got louder, the weird looks disappeared. Once Marty hit high school, scouts from colleges and even pro leagues started showing up to see him. That helped him get a college scholarship for athletics. When it came time for college, Marty said, "I'm going to work. I can't keep depending on you, sis." But I shook my head. I want you to keep chasing your dreams, Marty. I want to live the youth I couldn't have through you. Marty frowned a bit at my words.
I'll definitely go pro and take care of you, sis.
Thank you, but you don't have to worry about me. My only dream is for you to become a pro soccer player. I smiled warmly to reassure Marty. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine.
Sure, sis. You're more hardworking than me, but...
To me, Marty was the true hard worker. As promised, Marty went pro after honing his skills in college. I kept working at the supermarket, eventually moving to part-time as time grew short. I had run out of time to pursue my dreams, so I took up a part-time job. Believe it or not, 15 years had nearly passed since I started working at this supermarket. One evening during my break, I got a text from Marty on my cell phone. The text said,
"There's someone I want you to meet."
I stood up in excitement, forgetting I was in the supermarket break room. I was so happy Marty had found someone special that I even cried while telling my coworkers and manager. Marty was a very good kid who rarely made demands. He lost all his rebellious tendencies after our parents passed away. He even considered quitting soccer, which he loved, just to support me. And now I get to meet someone special to Marty. Could I be happier? The text had the date, time, and the name of a restaurant at a nearby hotel. When I told my coworkers, they said, "You have to dress stylishly." I was always mindful of how I dressed, but I didn't own anything fancy. After my part-time shift, my coworkers dragged me to the shopping district. I was dressed in various outfits at boutiques I'd usually never enter, finally selecting a classy but simple dress. After that, we headed to a major mall where I bought branded makeup and got a makeup tutorial. Finally, I felt a sense of liberation. Though shopping after work drained me more than my part-time job, the fatigue was not unwelcome. I'd been counting down the days on my calendar, eagerly awaiting this day. A few days later, I sat in the hotel lobby where we agreed to meet, wearing a dress I'd bought with a coworker. I'm not great at makeup, but I think I did it right, just as I was taught. Feeling nervous, I waited for the two of them. Then, suddenly, I heard someone call from behind me,
Sis!
Turning around slowly, I saw Marty in a suit and a stunning woman with long hair next to him.
Sis, you look amazing!
I went all out on being stylish. Marty said he wanted to introduce me to someone special. As I said this and laughed, Marty seemed pleased.
Let me introduce you. This is my fiancée, Vanessa.
Nice to meet you. I'm Vanessa, your future sister-in-law. Receiving such a courteous greeting from an incredibly beautiful woman, I found myself getting even more nervous. Somehow managing to say, I'm Marty's sister, Joanna, we decided to move to a restaurant. Once we were seated, we chatted about various things. Vanessa comes from a well-known family around here, and her father is apparently quite wealthy. Marty has told me about you. After your parents passed away, you've been like a parent to him. Parent-like, I wouldn't say.
Don't be modest. You gave up high school for me and went to work.
Wait, you didn't finish high school? Yeah, I started working right after middle school at a supermarket. It's been 15 years now. Just then, something felt off. Though Vanessa was nodding and making cute faces, it felt like she was looking down on me from behind her eyes. I thought it was my imagination, but then I saw her sneer when Marty wasn't looking. Your dress suits you well. She complimented my dress, but the way she scanned me from head to toe and snickered under her breath confirmed it. She definitely looked down on me.
Next year, we're planning to get married,
Marty said, looking a bit embarrassed. To be honest, I wasn't thrilled, but if this was Marty's choice, I had to be happy for him. All I could do was offer my biggest smile and say, congratulations! So our meetup ended. Though I had some reservations, if they were happy, who was I to say anything? I let it go. Days flew by, and before I knew it, Marty's wedding day was tomorrow. As I was getting my outfit and other necessities ready, a call came in from Vanessa on my cell. I returned her call immediately, wondering what could be wrong. I'm busy too. Could you get to the point? I never expected to be greeted like that right off the bat. I should have left on time, and I know it's my fault. So I genuinely say, I'm sorry. On the other end of the phone, Vanessa lets out a sigh-like sound. Oh, look. Then she throws a shocking statement my way. Could you, sister-in-law, please not come to the wedding tomorrow? What? I didn't understand her meaning, so I asked her again. Vanessa, what are you saying? I mean, exactly what I said. I don't think even Marty would want his sister who works at a grocery store to come. Her condescending tone makes me realize what it's like to be belittled. She doesn't even try to hide her mockery. But no matter what, I can't miss my only brother's wedding. Vanessa, that's not gonna happen. I'm the bride, so if I say it's possible, then it is. Please don't make me say it again. It's also for Marty's sake. When she brings up Marty's sake, I can't argue anymore. The wedding will have guests like the coach and players of the team Marty is part of. Also, there will be people from the major corporations Vanessa's family does business with. People you typically call elites. I can't deny that I've wondered if me, a high school dropout, being there would ruin the atmosphere. Marty might say,
"Don't worry about it."
but I'm sure others won't feel the same way. Maybe it would be better to follow Vanessa's suggestion and not attend. Fine, I won't come, but can I at least send a congratulatory message? Even though it might be rude over the phone, if I can't say it in person, then what? Never mind then, Vanessa curtly says, hanging up the phone. Stunned, I hold my disconnected phone. I wish I could have seen Marty happy with my own eyes. I push the packed bag into the corner of the room and crawl into bed. I'll just sleep through today. I don't feel like doing anything, and if I let my guard down, I might start crying. I forcefully close my eyes, but I couldn't sleep until morning. The next morning, I check my phone and find several missed calls from Marty. No surprise there. The whole family was supposed to head to the wedding venue early in the morning. Just then, another call from Marty comes in. I answer the phone.
"Hello? Sis, where are you? I'm coming to get you."
Marty, I can't make today. I can sense the urgency on the other end.
"Why?"
Marty asks with a sad voice. I'm torn about telling the truth when Marty continues.
"Did Vanessa say something? Is that it?"
How did you? Did Vanessa say something to Marty? Before I could ask, he says,
"Never mind, just get here now. We'll talk later."
Then he hangs up. Even though I planned not to go, I hurriedly get ready and leave the house, concerned about Marty and Vanessa. When I arrive at the venue, I can hear shouting even before I enter the waiting room. Guided by the venue staff, I enter to find Marty, Vanessa, and her parents in a heated argument. Around them, relatives who were supposed to attend are confused.
"What do you mean, not inviting Sis to the wedding?"
I can't invite a sister-in-law who works at a grocery store. It's embarrassing. Both of Vanessa's parents standing next to her not in agreement. It's disheartening, but they seem to be on the same page. Seeing their reaction, Marty's anger reaches a boiling point.
"What do you mean I should be embarrassed? Sis has been working hard her entire life to raise me."
Vanessa snorts at his words. Because of your sis, I might never get married, you know. I should be more important than her, right? So it is. Vanessa says as if it's the most natural thing in the world.
Yeah, of course.
Her parents chime in. Absolutely. Meanwhile, Marty looks like he's about to burst a blood vessel. Marty, Vanessa, let's calm down a bit. I hastily step in, but Vanessa suddenly realizes I'm at the venue and shouts. Why are you here? People like you who work at supermarkets weren't invited. Leave now. Why does she have to say things like this? I didn't want to cry in front of Vanessa, but I felt tears welling up. Just then, a voice rings out from a gap in the crowd of relatives who had been watching from afar.
Hold on a minute. I can't ignore that low-level comment.
The voice's owner makes his way through the crowd and stands in front of us.
Coach.
It's Marty's team coach. He came early to attend the ceremony and, hearing the commotion, decided to step in.
Judging people by their profession isn't right,
he says. Enough with the lectures, please. Vanessa gives the coach a pained look. Even she can't keep up her bravado in front of the coach.
Well, that may be.
The coach gives a wry smile and takes a book from his bag. Realizing what the book is, all my sadness flies away, replaced by a surge of embarrassment.
You sure she's low level even by your standards?
The coach asks. That's a best-selling book. What does it have to do with this?
The person who wrote this bestseller is none other than Marty's sister, Joanna.
What? Nessa and her parents are left speechless. The book the coach is holding is a novel I published under the pseudonym Annie. The story traces back to before Marty became a pro soccer player. When life began to stabilize, I took up reading as a hobby, mainly because it was an affordable pastime. I found joy in reading books at the library near the supermarket, a place I frequented. That library had a computer corner open to the public, where I ventured into writing as an extension of my love for books. On a whim, I entered a contest and ended up winning, which led to a connection with a publishing house. Now, I'm a recognized author of several best-selling novels, and I am often featured in the media. I've never heard this story before. After a moment of silence, Vanessa starts to speak, as if she can't believe what's going on. Cutting her off, Marty says,
I didn't say it before, but it's true.
Glaring at Vanessa as she speaks. Something about Marty's reaction must have convinced her it's not a lie. Vanessa turns to look at me, her expression changing from devilish to as radiant as a flower. If you're such an amazing person, that's a different story. Please join the ceremony.
Don't mess with me. I'm not marrying you.
At Marty's words, Vanessa looks ready to explode. What did you say? The coach holds Vanessa back.
There's no way we can just go back to normal after you've treated my precious sister like this. I'm sorry, but I can't marry you, Vanessa.
Marty deeply apologizes in front of Vanessa's parents and the relatives who are planning to attend the wedding. Vanessa's parents also raise their voices.
You can't be serious.
But the relatives standing behind them hold them back. There was some drama, but eventually, it was decided that Vanessa's side of the attendees should leave. Vanessa kept shouting, "You have to marry me!" until the end. Back in the dressing room, it's just me and Marty. Marty, looking completely drained, sits down on the sofa. Are you sure it's okay to call off the wedding? I can't help but ask, even if it's reopening old wounds. Marty lets out a dry laugh.
Being a soccer player means you have a limited time in the spotlight. I don't think a marriage with Vanessa, who is so obsessed with her career, would last long.
That makes sense. Marty has a point. I can easily picture how Vanessa, who ridiculed me so much for working at a supermarket, would treat Marty after he quit soccer. Why didn't you tell her that I'm a writer? I throw another question at Marty. Marty hadn't told Vanessa that I'm a writer. It felt like there was some meaning behind this.
I just didn't think it was necessary.
Marty smiles. But I can't help but think that maybe Marty had noticed something about Vanessa's true nature. Several discussions took place between both families. In the marriage, the engagement was officially called off. Vanessa and her parents resisted until the end, but it seems the relatives managed to hold them back. Even after the marriage fell through, Marty continues to thrive in soccer. On the other hand, it seems like Vanessa's family faced a tough time after her outburst in the waiting room got sold to the media. As for me, I'm considering turning this experience into a novel while continuing my writing and supermarket job. I plan to keep teaming up with Marty, just like we always have.